Hey couples, welcome to another Thursday night date night. Tracy, how long has it been that we've all been cooped up in our homes?
3 weeks, a month? I'm not even sure. It's like Groundhog Day every day.
Yeah, we've taken a lot of walks. We mentioned this last week, but we've taken even more walks now. I know some of you in some parts of the country, you're not even allowed to go outside, I've heard.
Yeah.
We are in Utah, so we can still take walks in the neighborhood. But it has been kind of crazy.
It has. And in fact, today we went on a walk and I was stressed out when there was another person passing us on the walking path. Like, hold your breath, turn away. Like, I don't know what it's going to be like when we actually can go back to a more normal life, because it's just going to be like PTSD. How are we supposed to act?
Yeah, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. But we love it because we think this whole shutdown thing is a great opportunity for couples to work on their marriages. So we're glad you've joined us again on a Thursday night. And hopefully you'll continue to join us and invite other couples to join us. In fact, Tracy, I think a good thing some couples might do next week is have a date night with another couple. Here's how you can do that if you want to plan ahead, is plan on watching this with us next Thursday night, same time, same place, but then do a phone call or a Google Hangout or a Zoom video call with another couple or maybe a couple of other couples and talk about next week's topic, which is going to be a parenting topic. And it's one where we're going to actually try to invite another couple in on this video.
Yeah, that could be fun. Parenting would be an easier thing to talk about, probably in more of a group setting.
Yeah. But tonight's topic is all about developing your love map as a couple. And so this one's going to be great for couples. If you've never heard of this concept before, it comes from John Gottman's book, one of his many books that he's written.
Well, it's one of his main ideas.
Yeah, and we'll put a link to that book below if it's interesting to you and you want to talk more about it and dive into it. But Tracy, let's jump into this first point so people can understand the context for the love map. If you want to truly know your spouse and anticipate their needs, then you need to take the time to get to know them more deeply. So that's what we're talking about with a love map, right? A love map is a tool that we can use as couples to know one another better.
Yeah, and the reason why I thought this might be a good topic is because we're really trying to encourage couples to have this date night time and to talk together. And maybe you guys as couples are spending more time together on a daily basis than you're used to. So this whole idea of the love map is really about developing your marital friendship, really getting to know each other. Because let's be honest, I mean, we've been married over 20 years. I'm a very different person than I was when we first got married. But yet when we're dating, we spend a lot of time, think about what we did when we were dating. What did we spend the most time doing? We
rollerbladed. We went out to eat an awful lot, way more than I ever had before that.
Yeah, Brian's budget was kind of exploded. He was a bachelor who saved his money, and then when I came on the scene, I'm like, let's go grab a bite to eat and talk some more. But the point is, we did a lot of talking, getting to know each other, and what happens is in marriage is we stop courting each other that way, and we stop developing the friendship of marriage, and that's really important. That's what the love map will help you to do.
So the love map idea is that you spend time getting to know everything about your spouse, down to their salad dressing choice. And this is to demonstrate that you want to know every single part of them.
Yeah, so the idea is that you ask each other a series of questions. We'll give you some samples here in a minute. But that you're really saying, I want to develop a map of who you are, your interests, the things you love, the things you hate, goals, dreams, all sorts of things. In fact, one of the things that John Gottman suggested I thought was really cool would be neat for you guys as a couple to kind of build your map together of how the roads of your relationship, where you started, and then the direction you went, like if you've moved, if you've gone through some really exciting times, like a mountaintop, and then maybe some valley experiences, kind of draw out your story, draw the map of what your story looks like in your marriage. I think that could be kind of a cool exercise.
Yeah, in fact, right now, let's try to use this whole live stream thing. If you're watching this live on Facebook or on YouTube, use the comments section maybe to give 1 or 2 word answers to this question. What do you most talk about right now when you go on a date? Because I know, Tracy, what you and I would say is we talk about one of 2 things, work or the kids.
Right.
And so what can happen is you're not really getting to know one another. You're not pursuing one another anymore when you're just talking about work or the kids.
Right. Yeah, the point is you guys have to get back to, we have to remember that we were a couple. We found connection when we were dating and wanted to get married. So we need to keep nurturing that part of our relationship and then not just kind of make our relationship something that we don't build into or care about anymore, because now we talk about careers and our kids. We really need to be like, who are you? Who are you now in your late 40s compared to who you were in your mid 20s?
Am I that old already?
Well, I think so.
She's staying young. I'm not. That sometimes happens. So, Trace, let's do this. For your date night, what we want to do is and again, you can check out these resources and discussion questions right down below this video, but we're going to put some of those questions right up there on the screen. Maybe we might even answer a couple of those, but our answers for one another are not anywhere near as important as your answers for yourself. So these first 5 questions are sort of like softballs, right? These are the easy ones that can kind of get couples warmed up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have to delve right into like the big, deeper things that you need more time maybe to think about, but just to kind of be like, I don't know, if I leave the table and the server comes to take our order, I want to know that my husband knows what do I want to drink, right? Like, what's my common drink that I would order at a restaurant?
Coca-Cola, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Or iced tea.
Or iced tea. That's right.
Depends on your mood. It depends on the food.
It depends on the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're usually water with lemon, but no straw. He hates straws.
It's not manly to drink from a straw.
Save the turtles, people.
Yeah.
It's not even about the turtles. You just don't like them.
I look funny.
You do.
Drinking
the
from a
face
straw.
he makes when he drinks out of the straws.
Man, how many of you can look normal drinking from a straw? You just can't. It's a woman thing. Let's just be honest about that.
No, men, you can use a straw if you want a straw.
All right, well, let's get to the questions. So, first of all, what's your favorite dessert? Number 2, what's your favorite movie? Number 3, what's your biggest pet peeve? Number 4, who's your best friend? Number 5, what's your favorite way to relax? Now, wait, couples, before you answer these questions for yourself, Tracy, I think it might be better. We'll put these questions back up on the screen for the husband to try to guess the wife's answers.
Well, yeah, right, absolutely. Because that's the point. The point is that you want to get to a place as a couple where you know the answers to these questions for your spouse. You know them as well as you even know yourself.
So we'll go silent for about a minute here and let husbands ask wives, wives ask husbands, then we'll be right back. All right, well, we're back. Now, I think it'd be interesting in the live stream for you to put in your comments how many the husband got right.
Yeah.
4 out of 5, 3 out of 5. How many the wife got right. I think that might be interesting in our live stream to see the poll and see how people did. Tracy, what do you think? Just kind of predicting, what do you think? You think women will do better at this? Are women more attentive to husbands, more tuned into husbands generally than husbands to women?
Well, I don't like to use generalizations, but my guess would be that wives probably will score a little bit better. But I know a lot of men that are way more intentional than women.
Yeah.
But probably women might do a little better.
Yeah, and I would admit, maybe couples, you can ask that question in your own family room right now, but in our marriage, I know our kids would say hands down, you would get 5 out of 5 right, and I would get maybe 2 or 3 out of 5 right. You're more attentive, to my shame, you're more attentive. This is something husbands, some of you, if you can relate to me, I think we need to work on this, right, is to be more attentive. I tend to be very efficient in my relationships, even in my relationship with my wife, And efficiency isn't a very relational thing.
Right.
Right. And so I think sometimes we need to be able to look in the mirror and say, I got to work on this. I got to get better at this. This exercise, this date night might
Totally.
be hard for some guys, maybe even for some wives.
But that's why this concept's so great, because it's just a practical way for you to kind of grow in your ability. It forces you to have some conversations that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise about learning about your spouse in ways that you don't know them.
All right, now the next set of questions, we're just going to do one more set of 5 questions. And these questions are tougher. You're going to talk about your biggest stress right now, your goals for the next 5 years, how you feel about your job right now, which is interesting with coronavirus. What do you see for your kids' future? How are you disappointed right now? So Tracy, we'll put those back up in just a second. These might create fights in living rooms around the country, right? Is that true?
Well, I hope not. I mean, I hope that the goal is just to hear your spouse and where they're coming from. So I hope that it isn't something that becomes contentious. It's a learning, exploring experience. So what it'll do is give you some insights and, wow, I didn't know those were your goals over the next 5 years. My goals don't look anything like that, but how could we maybe find a way to make some of our goals work? Or, maybe it has to be a 10-year goal, not a 5-year goal.
Right. Now we'll put those 5 questions back up on, and we'll end with those 5 questions. And again, you can use those. You can find those questions down beneath the video as well. So if you lose the video feed, not to worry. But Tracy, before we do that, before we wrap this up and sort of sign off for our date night, what would you say to husbands and wives, to fiancés, on this topic about the love map? What are some, I guess, maybe a parting thought for couples on this particular topic?
Well, I think from where we started, remember that your marriage is something that you need to be nurturing all the time. This is why the divorce rate goes up the longer you're married, is because we stop building into this relationship and we just let all the other things take center point, right? And so if you can think back to when you were dating, when you first got married, like what are the things that you fell in love with this person, this person that now you're doing life with? The love map just kind of helps to remind you, like, you're a person with interests and goals and aspirations and, pet peeves and all sorts of things. Like, I need to continue to learn that about you because we change over time. So my answers 10 years ago are going to be different than how I would answer them today. So that idea of what Gottman talks about of nurturing the marital friendship is really important if you want your marriage to go the distance, to remember that you are partners with this person that you chose to marry and continue to get to know them.
And one of the best ways to do that is just through conversation. And that's why we've built our resources the way we have. It's all about creating conversations for you so that you can build into that relationship. In fact, I encourage you to check out our family page and make sure to look at that as well. There's all kinds of topics for family talk, which means you're talking with your teenage kids, if you have teenage kids at home still. Topics on parenting, topics on marriage, literally hundreds of topics, conversation starters just like this one on developing your love map. So don't forget, you don't have to wait for the next date night on Thursday night to regularly have these conversations, build your marriage and grow it up. So we encourage you to do that, and we hope you'll join us next week for date night when we are going to talk about a parenting topic, and we're going to have another couple join us on the live stream. So we hope to see you then. Like I said before, we will put these questions right here for a couple of minutes so that you can continue to talk about it. Feel free to continue to use the comment section and talk about this topic and share some of your own thoughts about love map and developing a love map. And we'll see you next Thursday night for our date night.